This episode contains occasional adult humor and strong language. Viewer discretion is advised.
Yeah. Okay. Whoa. Gotta do something about those doors.
What's good, everyone? This is Jesse Cito from Scarborough Spots, and you are now watching The Scarborough Show, the show where we celebrate our people and our city. Let's go.
This episode is brought to you by the Scarborough Shooting Stars, the team that brought Scarborough its first ever professional championship. Get your season tickets now. Go to www.scarboroughshootingstars.ca. Brought to you by Aero Group of Companies, industry leaders dedicated to excellence, innovation, and community impact. A huge thank you to Aero for supporting Scarborough stories and helping us put our city on the map.
Today's guest is Tony Nappo. Tony Nappo is an actor whose career spans film, television, and theater. He's best known for his roles in Four Brothers, Saw 2, Land of the Dead, and Ginny and Georgia, and the crime drama Bad Blood. Tony has over 200 credits as an actor and even has a film coming out with Christopher Walken. Tony, welcome to the Scarborough Show.
Thanks, brother.
You are the best. You are the best, man.
It's all
You're
an
the
act.
best.
It's all an act.
You're
I appreciate you and Scarborough Spots and all the support you've thrown behind me. So I'm honored to be here and sitting on the RT, having
amazing.
a chat.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about that. I'm a big fan of yours.
Thank you.
I've been watching you for a long, long time. Before Scarborough.
You call me old?
No. I didn't say that.
You hear this?
No. I didn't say
you
that.
hear how he's starting? Okay. I got you.
So
I got you.
You took the RT when it was white.
Yeah.
Tell me about.
Well, it's funny.
Tell me about the RT.
When it closed, I sent a note on Facebook or Instagram to my high school girlfriend. I was like, "Oh, can you believe they're taking the RT down?" And I remembered like that was how we got around. That's what we would go to see a movie at the town center or $2 Tuesdays,
Right?
All that kind of stuff. So, and I lived right near Kennedy and Ellesmere, so I would always get off at the Ellesmere, York Mills or Ellesmere. I think it's called Ellesmere.
Ellesmere Station.
The Ellesmere Station of the RT. Get out from under the bridge and then walk over to my parents' place. It's everything in Scarborough is just soaked in memories for me, but especially this. So I was sad to see it go down.
Yeah, sad to see it go down, but happy that the zoo was able to preserve it.
It's fantastic. Yeah.
And how Scarborough is it for the zoo to have the RT here?
It's meta.
Yeah, it's pretty. It's
all
pretty
we need
cool.
is John Candy's ashes in here.
Yeah, it's really
the center of the universe.
It's really something. And when's the last time you've been to the zoo? Do you have memories of the zoo?
I haven't been to the zoo for 8. As a kid, absolutely. We came on school trips and that kind of thing. And I'm positive we came. Like if a family would come from Italy. I remember seeing photos of me and my Italian cousins. We'd do Niagara Falls at the zoo, and so I specifically remember that. That's probably around 7 or 8 years old, like in those childhood years.
Right.
But then I have one memory because I used to work in Centenary Hospital.
Oh, no way.
And I went to Scarborough U of T for 2 years, Scarborough campus.
Yeah.
And while I was there, I remember I was doing a play, and I went to the zoo with this girl, Leah.
Okay.
And she was just like one of these women who fascinated me, and we had a really nice day at the zoo, and so the zoo always makes me think of her, and I haven't seen or heard of her for 30 years now, but when you ask me like, do you have any memories of the zoo? I remember her and Billy Bragg and the zoo. Like it was, and I think it was a winter day that we came to hang out here. And just like some sweet little memory of I used to fall in love with every woman I met back in the day.
Leah, if you're out there,
Yeah.
Tony's thinking about you.
Hey, remember the zoo? Remember that zoo?
Now, you You obviously grew up in Scarborough, born
Yeah.
and raised. You're super proud. I
Yeah.
think you're the type of guy that if someone said, "Oh, you're from Toronto," you're going to correct them.
Oh, yeah.
You're that kind of guy who's
Yeah.
no. I'm from Scarborough.
Scarborough, yeah.
What is it about Scarborough that you love so much?
I just, in a word, the people, I guess, the people are the first thing I think of, and I just feel like there's a certain code. I don't, it's probably specific to the time as well, but I don't feel like that's aged out. There's a loyalty, there's a pride in your own surroundings and community. There's, you're always happy for the next guy when they succeed. You're always cheering for Scarborough.
Right.
And I think maybe if I never thought to examine it that much, except that there's an underdog quality to Scarborough. I mean, when I was growing up, there was definitely, I don't know. I think in the same way, like, my daughter's from Newfoundland. There was always used to be punchlines about Newfoundlanders, and same thing with Scarborough. Like, it was sort of like we were the bad kids or the dirty kids or the poor kids or whatever it was. And so there's nothing like, that type of perception that motivates you to break it down. And we're not all perfect, but who is?
I can completely resonate with the underdog mentality. Always not being good enough for Toronto.
Sure.
And you mentioned.
Well, we're the suburbs, right?
Correct.
We were the suburbs.
You're just, you're Scarborough. There's nothing to do out there. That's the poor place. That's the ghetto place. That's what people referred.
Well, that must have been what motivated you to do this. Scarborough Spots.
For sure. There's always been a chip. There's always been a chip on the shoulder. Really trying to show that that's wrong.
Yeah.
And there's some greatness that comes from here, right? And I wouldn't change it for anything. To be very honest with you, I love the way I grew up. I love the community that was around me when I grew up. High school, all that stuff. I wouldn't change it. I love that I'm from here, and of all the places that my parents could have picked, I'm so grateful that it was here.
Yeah.
Now, to take you back, I know you number one, you're Italian.
Yep.
And then number two, you're from Scarborough, so that's going to create a very interesting person in which you are. So I'm curious, was there an Italian bakery or an Italian restaurant that maybe you and your family went to back in the day, or because the community obviously has changed?
Totally.
It was a very, I think, Agincourt, the population of, or at least a lot of people living there were Italian at the time.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to learn a little bit more about that.
It's an interesting thing because I'm only half Italian. My dad was Italian, and my mom and her mom were born here, and then there's like England or something.
I see. Okay.
Before that.
Yeah.
We weren't particularly connected to that side of the family. My dad had nine brothers and sisters, and we had all kinds of cousins. So we spent all our time with that part of the family. But we were, even in the context of my family, we were the poorest of the family. I had family in Etobicoke at the time, and they subsequently all went up to Woodbridge.
Yeah.
But Etobicoke had a large Italian contingency, and my family, there was brothers and sisters. So all the brothers came to the East End and Scarborough, but started on the Danforth.
Okay.
Where there was a lot of Italians in that area. Even the Danforth, like there was Greektown, and then there was sort of a version of Little Italy, not Italy proper, or the Vaughan and St. Clair. But there was, it's funny, as Italians, like, you don't go to Italian restaurants. You don't really go. You go to the grocery store. Like, we went to Dorigo's.
Dorigo's.
Which was before before Highland Farms and before
Wow.
Bruno's.
Let's go back to Winston Churchill.
Yeah.
I know that you went to high school there.
Yeah.
I'm interested to know, where was the hangout spots? This is the 80s, I want to say.
Sure, yeah.
Where did you guys, what were you up to as teenagers in the 80s in Scarborough?
Sure.
Yeah, where did you guys?
It's funny because my daughter, like kids now all have phones. We didn't have phones growing up. So when one of my daughter's favorite movies is Dazed and Confused. And what they do in that, you ever seen that movie? They just wander around at night. It's like, where are you going to be?
Yeah.
And you get in a car and you drive around. And so Harry's was a big spot for us right across from Churchill. But also like driving down to the Bluffs, with your girl, or either you went down with a bunch of people and got drunk at the Bluffs, or you went down in a car and maybe made out a little bit by the water. We would have bleacher parties. Unofficially behind, somebody would say like, hey, let's have a bleacher party. So that would mean you tell everyone, like, show up at the bleachers behind the school.
Right, McGregor Park? Like right there?
Right there.
Okay,
right,
yeah.
well, right beside.
I played Little League the next day.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what the beer
you saw all the
bottles were.
empties. And we'd go there and we'd drink until somebody called the police. And then often a car would like roll up right in the middle of the field. Everyone would go, run, cops! Yeah. Then you'd all run and hide and try to find each other. Either meet at Harry's, or there was the Bowlerama over in that plaza. There was like a little bowling alley with a couple of pinball machines. Even beyond that, like I grew up at Kennedy and Ellesmere, so we were playing Pac-Man and Galaxian.
So there was an arcade somewhere at Kennedy Ellesmere?
It wasn't even an arcade. It was like a convenience store with
just
two machines in it.
Yeah.
And we'd get up early to go, like, I'd steal quarters from my dad's pocket and go play a couple of games. It's all just like, it was a good, like, there was nothing fancy about it. I didn't go to sleepaway camp. I didn't go on ski trips.
Yeah, neither did we.
But what we did together. You had a basketball and 10 guys, you had a game.
You're good to go.
But all of it. Like, it was very active. It was very, and our parents would be like, get out. I've never said to my kid, get out. But that was it. It's like, get out, come home when dinner's ready or whatever.
Yeah, that's exactly the rule. My mom had a rule that when it gets dark, that's the time you got to get in, right?
That's right.
And there's no cell phones. You're just out there exploring.
You're just out with people.
Meeting people, playing games, playing football, playing basketball.
A lot of athletics, a lot of street hockey.
Right.
Pick up, football or basketball or whatever. Hockey was always my sport, but I'd jump in and do whatever everyone else was doing.
Yeah. It's interesting you bring athletics because I have a theory, and obviously we have a bunch of athletes that have come through Scarborough. A comment that was made to me that I've always been thinking about is because of, and as we had spoken about having this kind of underdog mentality, all these different, immigrants coming from all different places of the world to come here, it created a very competitive, it was almost like we adopted some of these traits from our parents that are here to survive. And the way that we approach sports or that we approach anything is fierce and competitive. Because I remember playing basketball in different parts of, like outside of Toronto, and they go, relax. Like, why? You guys are so intense. Like, what's the deal with that? So it's funny that you talk about the athletics, because I think that actually, I don't know if I'm just guessing for you, but it helped shape who you are and who you are today, maybe as an actor.
Absolutely. I was one of the earliest things that happened to me was around 10 or 11. We were taking karate classes. I was kind of a soft kid. I was a bit of a mama's boy. I definitely would have rather sat and watched a movie.
That's very
with
hard
my
to believe,
mom.
man. That is very hard to believe.
It's the truth.
You are not a guy I want to pass by in an alley. You know what I mean?
No, I'll f you up. No. But But my dad didn't like that.
Yeah.
You know, my dad was like, this guy is not, he's not a
You gotta
hard
toughen
man.
this guy up.
So then he made me start doing karate, which I hated. And then, so he switched me into boxing at 12, when I was 12 years old. And I learned how to fight. You know, I learned how to fight, and I was a pretty good fighter. I was Ontario champion. You know, it's like 140 pounds, 12 years old. Golden Gloves champion, all that. And I can fight, like I really can fight. I definitely wear the Scarborough on my sleeve. I wear boxing on my sleeve. You know, I can be foul, I can be funny, I can be loud. It's not necessarily who I am, but that's the brand I built.
Yeah.
And as long as, you know, when you're younger, you want that. You don't want to be feared and respected. I think now, as long as it's tempered with the fact that, you know, I am I welcome and support everyone equally, and I fight for every community and everybody on the outskirts, and it's tempered with compassion and intelligence. Like, I feel like that's the brand I'm now advancing to in you know, my later years. I'm going to be 58 years old, so you don't want to be a guy who still thinks he's a young lion when he's not. But you know, I'm never going to back down from a physical or verbal altercation. You know, you got to kill me. You got to kill me if you want to beat me, or I'm going to tire you out.
Yeah.
One or the other.
Tony, that's what we love about you. You are who
And people
you are.
hate that about me too, and
that's fine.
and that's okay.
And that's okay.
You know what I mean?
You know,
like, I can live with that. I like me.
there it is. Oh,
That's that great John Candy
That's right.
documentary I did. You know, and it took me a long. Oh, I'm gonna cry. Sometimes I just get emotional out of nowhere. But it took me a long time to get to that point where I didn't need anybody to validate me anymore. You know, I got nothing to prove. I like who I am, and when I was younger, it wasn't that way. I wanted you to like me. So if I was with you, I might act a certain way. If I was with you, I might be a different person. When I'm with Janice, you know who I'm gonna be. But you know what I mean? Like, but they're all like compartmentalizing yourself. So you're putting on an act, which is, you know, what people do. Like, the acting, everyone's acting all the time.
Right.
Not acting, but acting isn't pretending. It's being. It's behaving. But all of that to say, you know, as I've aged, those different components have slowly merged to form a guy, essentially, who now I don't feel a need to hide behind masks and be the Scarborough guy or the tough guy or the seducer or the you know, now it's just Tony.
Yeah.
And he could like me or not like me. It doesn't matter.
Well, I will tell you that we love Tony.
Well, you're not so bad yourself.
So, Tony, you've done some amazing work over the years. You've worked with the likes of Al Pacino, Wesley Snipes, Ethan Hawke.
Yeah.
Is there a moment that stands out to you that, you know, when you're old and gray and you think about and just be like, that was the moment that changed my life, where that was the moment where I knew this is what I was going to do for the rest of my life?
Oh, that's tricky. Yeah, I mean, the way I tripped over this, I've told this story a bunch of times, is I was at university and this woman, Catherine Smith, called me into her office. She was a TA. And she said, "What are you going to do with your life?" And I said, "I wanted to be an English teacher. That's what I was studying to be." And she said, "Well, you know, I'm going to tell you something I've only ever told one other person. If you take this seriously and you study this for real, I think you could make a living doing this for the rest of your life." And she gave me the number to that one other person. I called him, we had a conversation, and at the end of that call, I decided I was quitting university, was going to move to New York, go to the school that he had gone to, and pursue this. And that guy is Enrico Colantoni. And he was also in Bad Blood. He was in Flashpoint, the bald Italian guy. He's a friend now and stuff. So that's kind of the first I don't think I'd ever really thought seriously. I'd always loved acting. I've always loved movies. I always had an active imagination. I remember lying in bed dreaming of like being a cop or riding a horse or whatever. But I didn't ever actually think about pursuing it. You know, in grade 6, I played Cinderella in the school play.
Whoa, hold on.
Yeah, it's true.
No. What?
Yeah, yeah.
You played.
I played Cinderella. Yeah, it was like a space age. I remember it was called Kinderellen, which probably exists and published somewhere, and it was sort of a space age Cinderella, and we didn't have that many girls interested in doing it, so I played Cinderella, and I remember Greg Joseph and Andy Georgiou played my sisters, and Eddie Iwascu played the prince. So it was we were way ahead of the times.
You really were.
And we did it in drag with like wigs and stuff. And
Tony
I'm sure
being
it was terrible.
Cinderella is not what I expected to learn today.
No, well, that was my
amazing.
first lead.
Yeah.
And then I remember I did a version of Charlie, like through what do you call it, middle school, grade 7 and 8.
Yeah.
And in high school, acting wasn't like a thing, you know. It wasn't like wasn't a cool guy thing to do. Like you didn't want people thinking of you as an actor. But then they did a production of West Side Story at my school, and the generation of guys, Nation, you know Nation, yeah, Nation and his gang, they were 2 years younger than me, I think, and they had a different vibe, you know, like they were all into like hip hop and breakdancing and so they were all in this show, West Side Story. And I remember seeing it and being so like inside, I was like so in love with what I was seeing, and I was like so upset that I couldn't be part of that thing, you know, that they were all a part of. Like Prince was my guy, you know, the first concert I ever saw was Purple Rain. So like I had that like secret, it was a secret for me. I was like a closet artist or a closet lover of joy in a world where, you know, we had to
be tough.
We had to be this guy.
Yeah.
That conversation with Kathy gave me permission to start to think about doing this. And I remember, so then I went to school for 2 years and this was in New York City, where I would study in the day, and at night I would go see theater all the time. So I saw Pacino and John Turturro and Larry Fishburne and Alec Baldwin, Jessica Lange, on and on and on. I saw a lot of theater, and after 2 years we had our exam plays, and if I think of a moment, that's the first moment that comes to my mind. At the end of my exam play, I remember I came off the stage. It was A Lie of the Mind. I played Jake. I think the character's name was Jake. And I came off stage, and I remember sitting in a room, the little dressing room, and not really remembering what had happened. You know, like I was actually in the play, and it was the first. I don't even know if non-actors would understand what I mean by that. It was the first time I knew, like, oh, I can do this. I could do this. You know, I actually know what this is. I understand this. And so then fast forward to, you know, at a certain point, when we were on Four Brothers, the actor named Gennard Burks, who's in a lot of stuff, great guy. Yeah. He said to me, you know, Singleton really likes you. And I go, what do you mean? He goes, he never gives you any direction. And I was like, oh yeah, I guess that's a good thing. He's like, yeah. So then you start to realize, well, people see something in me, and you start to believe in yourself, because it's really easy not to believe in yourself. It's really hard to break the ranks. It's really hard to get an agent. Like every step of this process isn't easy, you know, and not everybody, but a lot of people want it. It comes down to who's going to work the hardest and who's going to sacrifice the most and who's going to do what has to be done to get there. And so now fast forward to, I've had a few great experiences along the way where you work with somebody that you admire, and then you reach a point where you realize, they're speaking to me like we're peers. They're not speaking down to me. Often people with high profiles will have really low expectations because I guess they've worked with a lot of actors who aren't that good or whatever. And so when you just recognize, you see in the other person's eye, like, they trust me. And that validates me. And there's no conversation that takes place. It's just like you feel welcomed to, it's almost like a club,
Yeah. It's like a team.
Yeah. So I just finished this thing with Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
And, it doesn't get any better than that. And he's had the most amazing career, one of the most amazing careers of all time.
Yeah. No, that's incredible. I saw your eyes lit up when you told me about Christopher Walken.
Yeah.
That must have been a dream come true.
Pretty amazing. But, again, at the beginning, it's like he's 80-something years old and he's conserving his energy and he's being quite, everybody wants to talk to him, but you don't want to tire the guy out.
Yeah.
So you just kind of give him space and just, I just observed him and watched him working and was amazed. And, but then at a certain point, I cracked him up a couple of times, just being a dick. And then he's sort of like, and then we actually did a couple of little scenes and stuff. And you just kind of get the sense like, he's like, hey, so how you doing? You're from here, all of a sudden he's making conversation. And that's like, to me, it's just a great feeling, it's just a great feeling to have someone recognize in you that you both, you have this thing in common, if nothing else.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That must have been something. So I actually have a picture to show you. And
oh yeah, that's a.
Can you we're gonna put it up on the digital version.
Yeah.
We'll post that up there. But
can
you tell me? I know what this is about because we've talked about it before.
That's pretty cool.
But for those watching at home, it's a picture of Tony
Sammy Jackson. Yeah,
Sammy Jackson.
I was just watching him. I watched The Negotiator with my dad yesterday.
Great.
In Scarborough yesterday.
Nice.
Yeah, Samuel Jackson. That was I think I was 18 or 17 there, on Sea of Love, and I had seen a little ad in the paper to do background work in the movies. So I went down and signed up or whatever, and ended up in a chair beside Samuel Jackson.
Crazy.
And that scene was filmed at the Masonic Temple, and what's it called? Young and what's that street that goes across? Jarvis turns into. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The Masonic Temple, and we were there for 5 days. And it's one quick scene at the beginning of Sea of Love where they call in a bunch of guys who think they're going to meet the New York Yankees, but they're actually outstanding warrants, and they arrest them all.
Right.
And Samuel Jackson, I think, shows up late or something like that. I forget. I haven't seen it in ages. Anyway, I sat beside this guy for 5 days, and at the time I was like, this guy's going to be a fucking huge star. Mm-hmm. Like, he was so, and there was 500 people in that room at any given time, but everyone's eyes were on him, and Al Pacino was one of them, and everyone's eyes were on Samuel Jackson.
Yeah, that says a lot,
because he was so funny and so dynamic and so ballsy. Like, he was just, he was the show, and years after that, I worked with him in a little scene on Jumper, and told him, hey man, you got me on the American Film Institute honors Al Pacino, some kind of an award.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, "Oh yeah, man, that's cool," because they showed that scene on the thing, and I just happened to be sitting beside him. Like,
That's crazy.
there's nothing much to it. But my mom calls me and she's like, "You're on the Al Pacino tribute. You're on the Al Pacino tribute." I'm like, "Yeah, of course I am."
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
You know, the odds of you being placed right there,
It's crazy.
it's crazy.
It's crazy.
And of course, you both go on to have incredible.
Well, I think he's
careers.
done slightly better than me, but
No, you're not too bad, Tony. You're not too bad.
you know what? Listen, I've had the career. Like, there isn't anything I haven't done so far. It's 215 credits. I've done Disney. I've done horror. I've done an animated series. Blah 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 blah.
So actually, speaking of roles,
Yeah.
you play a lawyer, which
Yeah.
is not typically what you do. But
Yeah.
I think it was a different kind of Tony than I was expecting. You're a little bit more bravado, but in a different way as a lawyer.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, you know, I watched Ginny and Georgia. Our good friend Alex.
Yeah.
Malari is on there
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well, and you interrogate him.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I think that's an amazing Scarborough moment.
Yeah.
Which
He's
is
great.
really,
I love that Morningside movie.
yeah, and you know, hopefully there's a way for you guys to work
I'm sure
together
we'll
in
cross
something.
paths again. Yeah.
I'm sure. You went a bit viral for your role.
I know.
And I know I remember we were talking about it, but how did that feel to I think it was your daughter who said,
I didn't even. I'm only on Instagram.
Yeah.
I have a Facebook account, but I don't really use it that much. So I don't know TikTok. I don't know chit chat, Snapchat.
yeah.
I don't know what the it's called.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Let's start a chit chat. So yeah, my daughter's like, "Hey, Dad, look, you're on whatever," and it was like 1 million hits or whatever on these things.
It's a lot more
Edits,
now.
these
but yeah.
edits, whatever
Right.
they are. Yeah, but that didn't really have much to do with me, honestly. Like it was a cool. They gave me a great part, and I think I nailed it. But that has to do with the popularity of the show, and that 2 billion, 3 billion people have watched the show, and I was new. I was coming into a universe that was already established and kind of a new. Like fun. He was a fun character, and I think that's what they needed me to be. I think that's what they saw in me.
Yeah.
That was a long process of auditioning and calls backs, and then I thought I had it, and then it felt like it went away, and then eventually I got it. I booked it like 4 days before
Wow.
we started shooting. Like, they really, I don't know if they were looking for a name. I don't think so, but I don't know what it was.
You crushed it. You
I
absolutely
think
crushed it.
I think they knew it was me, but then they just want to be sure, and then it landed on me. And I think that because so much of it was legal stuff, you want to keep the entertainment value high and going. So, it was just like, how can this guy not be boring?
Oh, you were definitely the opposite of boring.
Yeah.
Objection.
yeah.
I think you were great at
Yeah,
that. And,
yeah, that was a great moment. But that was written. That moment was written. I just made it. I brought it off the page in that particular way.
You made it Tony.
But that show is great, and they were all great. I mean, they're all Tony. Everything I do is Tony.
That's right. Yeah.
To whatever degree. It's just which parts are you letting out and which parts are you reining in.
Right. I got another photo for you.
Okay. Are my clothes on?
No, you just have a diaper on. No, this one here. I'm in the photo.
Oh,
with
yeah, I
you,
remember this.
which is pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, you guys have been so good to me. It's the Scarborough, this whole Scarborough thing. Look at that. Yeah, I still got,
Pretty cool.
hey? Yeah. I want to put that in a frame
Yeah.
and put it
No,
up.
you know what? When we come over and we have your sauce.
Okay.
I'm gonna bring you a frame photo of this.
Okay, well, there you go. Now I got to make the sauce.
I think that would be great.
This segment is brought to you by STC. Big thank you to Scarborough Town Center, the heart of Scarborough shopping and culture. We appreciate your support in helping us share local stories.
Tony, we're on the RT. You know, it's snack time. It feels right to
Look
have
at
a
this.
patty, right?
Look at that. It's like I make it. It's like a pope. I look like a pope if I do it. Can I do that? Probably can't show that.
You just be you, Tony.
Take
okay?
this.
You just be you,
Take
Tony.
this and let it
Let's
be.
cheers. Let's cheers. Cheers
Cheers, my
the
brother.
spicy beef patty.
Let's do a high five. Let's. Ah, even cold is good.
Even cold is great.
That's a good skin.
Mm-hmm. Great crust.
It's not flaky at all.
Good flavor. Delicious stuff.
That was good.
So you lived off Kennedy. I'm sure you took the subway downtown and all that
Oh
stuff.
yeah.
I'm sure you've had your patty or two.
Yeah. Patty in a bun.
Patty and bun, patty and cocoa. So would that be your go-to when you're feeling hungry and you know, got a long trip downtown?
Oh yeah, for sure. Even if I wasn't hungry.
Yeah, that's
know?
so true.
Yeah.
That's
You
so
just
true.
grab one because they were there.
Yeah, and they were cheap.
I could eat that. You know,
Yeah.
I could eat. My mom for lunch would like cut a Italian bread in half and put whatever inside of it. It's more bread than meat, but yeah. Anytime you went by Warden Station,
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. This is actually the Warden Station patty.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah.
Always there. And then a few spots. You know, I had like there was he moved down the road, but there was a Jamaican guy, an Asian Jamaican guy, in the corner of White Shield Plaza.
Okay. Yeah.
And I used to love the jerk chicken there. I would go there often if I was painting houses in the neighborhood.
Right.
I would just always go by there, and you know, I mean, for a decade. And but then he moved.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was my big. And Harry's, you know,
Yeah, right
Harry's.
across the
We would
street.
go to Harry's
Yeah.
often after we were drunk for
Yeah.
burgers and fries or whatever.
So we've reached the end of the line here, Tony.
Yeah.
It's been amazing talking with you, but you know, now it's our time to depart, and you know, just let the viewers and our listeners know, you know, what's coming up next and how to follow you on your journey.
Sure. I'm not a big online guy anymore, but if you follow me at, it's just my name, Nappo.Tony on Instagram. And then I have another page I don't actually run. It's called Auditioning with Nappo. And we do, me and I got a partner, Dylan Taylor, who's a phenomenal actor. We run these classes, Auditioning with Nappo and On Set with Taylor. And we have a workshop every month, usually the last Sunday of the month. Sign up and come, and it's great. I'd love you to come and check it out.
I will. And you have an exciting project coming up, a movie, Back in Black. You want to talk about that?
Yeah,
a bit?
Back in Black. I just finished it. Christopher Walken, Jane Curtin, a woman named Ella Ballantyne are the leads. Myself and a woman named Louise Lambert are playing a sheriff and the deputy trying to solve these crimes in a small town. Anyway, it's a great cast. Probably be at Toronto Film Festival next year, I'm imagining. I'm popping up on TV here and there. You know, there's always like 5 or 6 Christmas things I'm in. And I just did these mistletoe murders or whatever. I'm going to do a play. I haven't done a play on stage in 6 years now. The last play I did was Jesus Hopped the A Train at Soul Pepper. And this play I'm really excited about. It's a two-hander. It's going to be at the Tarragon Theater. Or it's a three-hander, actually, but primarily a two-hander. Me and my wife, Ordina, is playing. Anyway, it's called The Neighbors. It's by Nicholas Bion. It's going to be at Tarragon Theater in February and March. And I'm pretty nervous
Wow.
and excited about doing it.
Even Tony gets nervous.
Yeah, it's and it's usually good. It's usually good, It usually means I'm outside the comfort zone, or feeling the stakes are high. I'm already working on it. Like I'm working on it every night, and I don't even go into rehearsals until February. But you get older, and I want to make sure it's there, and I want to make sure I find it all here. Anyway, I think that's it. That's the next film. That's the next play, and I'm always around just to hang
You're
out.
always up to something, Tony. That's what I've learned about you. But really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
I love you, brother. Thank you for all
Get over here, man.
all your support. But I really appreciate all the airtime you give me, and and like I always say, like anything I can do to return any of that energy to you is already done.
Okay, this is my stop. I gotta go.
Oh, Tony, before you go,
Yeah.
passes from the zoo. The zoo is open 365 days a year.
Pasta Manu! Pasta Manu!
That's amazing. There you go. Oh,
On what? More?
and yeah, from our friends at Scarborough Town Center, a little gift pack for you.
Scarborough. Brup, 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 brup.
This episode is brought to you by the Scarborough Shooting Stars, the team that brought Scarborough its first ever professional championship. Get your season tickets now. Go to www.scarboroughshootingstars.ca. Brought to you by Aero Group of Companies, industry leaders dedicated to excellence, innovation, and community impact. A huge thank you to Aero for supporting Scarborough Stories and helping us put our city on the map.